The state of nuclear rhetoric in the world today is more volatile and dangerous than it has been in decades. The post-Cold War era of hopeful disarmament has given way to a new period of heightened tension. Major powers, including the United States, Russia, and China, are modernizing and expanding their nuclear arsenals, while arms control treaties have been abandoned or suspended. Leaders are increasingly using nuclear threats and saber-rattling as a tool of foreign policy, a practice that risks miscalculation and inadvertent escalation. The current discourse, often conducted through informal channels like social media, lacks the formal protocols and direct communication that defined previous periods of nuclear tension. This shift has made the environment ripe for misinterpretation and emotional reactions, further increasing the risk of a catastrophic accident. The international community, once united in its push for non-proliferation, is now divided, with many nations from the global south criticizing the hypocrisy of nuclear powers that preach non-proliferation while expanding their own arsenals. The reasons for the current state of nuclear rhetoric are multifaceted, stemming from a breakdown in the international order and a return to great power competition. A key factor is the erosion of arms control agreements, such as the New START Treaty, which once provided a framework for managing nuclear arsenals. This has led to a new arms race, with major nuclear powers modernizing their weapons and developing new technologies, like hypersonic missiles, that reduce the time for a decision-making process in a crisis. Furthermore, leaders are increasingly using nuclear threats as a form of political signaling to deter adversaries and project strength. This saber-rattling is often aimed at influencing geopolitical conflicts, as seen in the war in Ukraine, where Russia has made repeated allusions to its nuclear capabilities. The informality of modern communication, including social media, has made this rhetoric even more dangerous, as it can lead to misinterpretation and rapid escalation without the traditional diplomatic channels to de-escalate. The primary consequence of escalating nuclear rhetoric is a heightened risk of accidental nuclear war. The breakdown of communication channels and the use of inflammatory language increase the chance of misinterpretation, where one side's actions, even if defensive, could be perceived as a precursor to a nuclear attack. This puts immense pressure on decision-makers, who may have only minutes to react to a perceived threat, increasing the likelihood of human error or a technical malfunction leading to a catastrophic launch. Furthermore, this rhetoric fuels a new and dangerous arms race. The perception of an adversary's willingness to use nuclear weapons incentivizes other nations to modernize and expand their own arsenals, creating a cycle of escalating tension. This undermines global security and makes the world a more unstable place. A limited nuclear exchange, even with a small number of weapons, could have devastating global consequences, including a nuclear famine caused by climate disruption, which could put billions of people at risk of starvation. Addressing the dangerous trend of escalating nuclear rhetoric requires a multi-pronged approach centered on diplomacy and de-escalation. A crucial first step is the revival of arms control agreements and direct communication channels between nuclear powers. Re-establishing treaties like New START and opening back-channel dialogues can help rebuild trust and provide a framework for managing arsenals and preventing miscalculation. Furthermore, a global commitment to no-first-use policies would significantly reduce the risk of accidental nuclear war by removing the possibility of a preemptive strike. This policy would assure other nations that nuclear weapons would only be used in retaliation, thereby de-incentivizing a first strike in a crisis. Finally, increased international pressure from non-nuclear states and civil society organizations is essential. By stigmatizing nuclear threats and emphasizing the catastrophic humanitarian consequences of any nuclear use, the global community can create a powerful political disincentive for leaders to engage in such dangerous rhetoric.